All right, welcome back to day 18. Let's see what's going on today. So, Chelsea weighed herself every single day. I did not do that. I did what I called weigh in Wednesdays. So, there's things that she saw that I may have happened to me, but I didn't see. So, on her day 18, her weight actually went up for the first time. She was actually retaining a little bit of water. Obviously, when women can cycle and it can happen, she can retain some water. You may keep some water weight on as you do your longer fasts if you're weighing yourself every day. Be aware of that. She was up 0.2 pounds, so you may retain some water in between. I didn't see that on my own, but there was a time when my weight did not drop as much and on a weigh-in Wednesday, and so I may have had a fluctuation. So for me, my verse today was inspired by actually how I acted on my day 17. On day 17, as I mentioned, I ate fasting fuels around people because I wanted to and I could, just so I wouldn't have to talk about fasting. I didn't feel like telling them I was fasting, but I just did it because not necessarily, I was worried about their approval, but just I didn't want to talk about it. And so I was just like, I did it because I could. And that was the wrong reason to eat. And you're not supposed to use fasting fuels for that reason. You're supposed to help you keep fasting, not to appease other people. And so I prayed about that. And my Holy Spirit conviction that day was I needed to kind of atone for that. And I was only supposed to have water only. I didn't have any multivitamins. I just had water that day because I needed to seek God first when I was in my fasted state before I did my fasting fuels. I didn't have any pain in my feet that day, which is unusual for me, especially when I do a longer fast because I have some gout. I did have some gallbladder twinges with water. Again, I was trying to this is when I had pancreatitis before this fast, and I was trying to see if I could maybe not have to have gallbladder surgery. And I was starting to feel emotional today, and I was kind of wondering where my hormones were. And ironically, I actually had tested them on day 15. I just hadn't received them yet. And so I just assumed that my estrogen was through the roof and my testosterone was in the toilet. And the reality is my estrogen was normal for a male and my testosterone was through the roof. So it was 800, which was very high for me. I originally, before my fast, I think I had it around 160. They were thinking about actually giving me some supplements and that was a spit test. So they said basically you could kind of double that, and that's what I was given. But my testosterone was very high. It wasn't, and my estrogen was normal. So my hormones that I was feeling, I think my emotions weren't hormone related. It is actually fast related. After this day, I prayed at the end of the day, and I was given the insight that I had atoned for my discretion of using fast fuels, but I didn't need it, and I could use fasting fuels again tomorrow if I needed them. So my verse for the day is actually 1 Corinthians 10:31. Whether then you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. And that became my verse today because that was really convicting to me that I needed to not just do these things because I could. Even when I fast or I fasting fuels, I need to pray about it and it needs to be for the glory of God. But because I didn't have pain in my feet, I decided better to look up a reason why that might be. So the research article today is actually dietary intake regulates the circulating inflammatory monocyte pool. So what does that mean? Well, when you do fasting, when you're in the fasted state, your body decreases its chronic inflammation. And so what they tested monocytes. Monocytes are a naturally occurring cell that reacts to inflammation. In the fasted state, those monocytes decrease in the bloodstream. So your chronic inflammation actually goes down in the fasted state, which would be why my feet didn't hurt as much. But they have found that those monocytes are still effective and are not compromised in an emergency situation. Meaning, if you got injured or you had an infection, they would immediately respond to that and there would be no decrease in efficiency. It's just your chronic inflammation is decreased. So fasting helps with chronic inflammation without affecting your body's ability to respond to an emergency or infectious disease. So God designed you to carry you through your fast, to use your fasting fuels when you need them and don't use them when you don't. And He designed you to be healing yourself while you're fasting and to be safe and to be effective. So let that carry you on to day 19. I'll see you tomorrow with a special guest.